Hi and welcome to this video, and in this video I'm taking a tour around PolyWorld, which is one of the scenes we developed for combat. But as you can see here, this is the default pylons track that I've got in here, and you can quite happily race in here as well and build tracks in here for racing. It doesn't need to be used for combat. It can just as viably be used for racing or freestyle or whatever you want to do in here. You're not restricted to using it for combat only, and there are a huge number of objects that you can use for building really interesting environments for racing or combat in PolyWorld. Now this central area that I'm flying around now is completely flat. It's kind of the middle of the map, and this is where you can easily kind of build out basic maps that don't have any height change, flat field type maps. Those can go in this central section. But if I just pop up high here, you'll see that basically there is a surrounding area all the way around this where you've got some more areas of interest, and you could even do a circuit all the way around the outside of the map here. There's huge waterfalls up there, the river running all the way through it. So if we just take a bit of a look at the details in PolyWorld, for instance, you've got like flying little butterflies above plants, all cell shaded in here, which is fantastic for performance. So although this looks like a detailed map area in here, it actually performs really well because of the cell shaded look to it. So we can extract really good performance out of this map, and even add lots of complex track details into it in the same PolyWorld kind of style, and not lose any performance. The other nice thing in here as well is that because it's a kind of a low poly environment, you can build out your things like trees to have nicer collider systems on them as well. So for freestyle type stuff, if you want to play around inside of a tree, flying through the tree branches and stuff, then you can do in PolyWorld. It's much more viable for that than trees in a more realistic environment, which are far more complex. So these trees in here are great for just freestyling around. You'll see if you get it wrong and hit them, they're still solid objects, but the colliders are really nice on these. There is a collider there, as you can see. I can tap that branch, but you can play around in these trees, and they're just much nicer to play with than more realistic trees if you're just freestyling around them. And then this is kind of the whole track around the outside. You've got the little ravines and lots of sort of height change type areas to fly through. This is kind of the river, bridges under these rivers. It's like little paths and things around the outside of the map. You see lots of height change. There's like a cave through here that you can fly into. Some lit torches in here in the cave. Fly out the back of the cave here. Another one of these trees that's good for freestyling around. We've got some kind of leaves floating around here. And then the main kind of huge waterfall with ice trees on the top, snow and ice trees on the top, and you can kind of dive down this waterfall. So that's quite fun to play with as well. and then I'm just going to fly around the rest of the map here. So there's this kind of cutaway area that we came through earlier, and we've kind of done a whole circuit around the outside of the map. There's one bit I missed here, which is like another little cave kind of entrance type area, and then some height change type stuff in here. Yeah, there you go. So that's PolyWorld, and as I say, it's a nice, really efficient map. You can run this on low specification machines. It runs really well on low specification. So you know how nice it looks. Don't be fooled into thinking your machine won't be able to run it, because this is not a heavy environment on CPU or GPU. It runs nicely on lower spec machines as well. And then back into our central environment. So there you go. That's PolyWorld, and it'll be coming as part of the combat pack, but you can race in it as well. It's dual purpose. You can use it for either. The only restriction on PolyWorld is you can only use PolyWorld objects inside of it. The only exception being the pylons track that's in here that is using objects that are not cell shaded. Anything that you build in here will use polygon, this cell shaded type objects, unless it's neon type gates, because we have included neon gates in Track Editor for the cell shaded sceneries that we've got. But apart from neon gates, everything else, all of the other Track Editor objects are cell shaded Track Editor objects. So it keeps the look and feel of this environment, one, efficient and easy on machines to run, and two, it keeps the look and feel consistent, so you don't feel like you suddenly come across an object that doesn't belong. Okay, that's it. I just wanted to go over PolyWorld and just give you a fly around it and a view of it, and there'll be more videos to come.